Welcome to Book Talks, and I am your host, Dimpho Mahale, the show that speaks to health, education, and so much more. Today on our show, we have our guest who's going to speak about paint, Miss Cate Olifant. Let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Miss Cate?
I'm good, thank you, Dimpho.
Have you risen well?
Very well.
Very well. So, Cate, tell us who you are and where do you come from?
I'm from Zanini in Guangua Township, and I am a paint manufacturer. I manufacture water-based paint, specifically for decorative and industrial coatings. So yeah, your wall paint and your roof paints or your floor paints, your waterproofing. So that's what I specialize on doing.
And why did you see the need to start your business, Akani Paints?
To be honest, this whole thing, it started in 2014. I think, in fact, my first business plan was done in 2014, but the company, I registered it in 2015. I have no background with chemical engineering or chemistry, but because of I'm this person whom I'm very inquisitive. My background, I'm more into marketing. My qualifications is more into marketing. But because of I was also in construction. So I think it was in 2013, 2014, I was a subcontractor for one of these big companies, Basil Reed. So one day, you know what, I was just a subcontractor for building. It was more into bricklaying and plastering. So I was just so tired. So you can imagine, I'm wearing my boots, work suits. And I said, no, man, you know what, I'm not making money in this business. And when I look on the whole project, the way it was, people who were making more money, it was the suppliers. Initially, I was more interested on the electrical. But when I look at it, I said, no, man, even electrically, it will need more into science. And I have no background in science. And you know, with paint, I was a little bit hesitant because of I knew that it will need the formulations, it will need, you know, so many things. So I was just digging it, not wanting to approach it fully. But one day I just approached one of the subcontractors. It was a white lady. And when I approached her, she said to me, you know what, it is a doable business, but unfortunately it's not a CC business. For you starting this kind of a business, you might not make it. Because of you don't have background in paint, you've never worked for a paint manufacturer, you have no background in chemistry. So for you starting such a business is going to take you some time. So yes, fast forward, my mentor was this very beautiful lady who says Gailey. She's the one who drafted my business plan in 2014, and she sat me down. I said, here's your draft, and two things. She said, firstly, do you have money? Secondly, do you have patience? With money, to be honest, I just kept quiet. And when it comes to patience, yes, you know, I'm a patient someone. I'm very patient. And she just looked at me and said, okay, yes, it's a doable business. You can do this. But let me warn you, this business of yours, it might even take you more than 10 years for you to stand on your ground. It's going to take you some time because of you have no background to start with. And it's a very expensive business to implement. However, it's something that you can do it. So for those words, for her giving me that assurance, I said, you know what, let me just take a chance. Fine. With the construction part, I was in construction with my husband. And when we, you know, because of I'm this person, that, you know, if I want to do something, you need to do it. And it's those people who play safe. No, wait, always when I want to implement something, wait. And then I decided that, you know what, let me just resign from your company and let me start my own. I said, you know what, this is a men's world. For you going to this kind of a business you want to do, you are doing it at your own risk. And 2015, I registered Akani Paints, Akani, which means to build in Xitsonga. And I needed something, the word needs to be small, catchy, easy to pronounce. So 2015 I registered, started to attend short courses with SAPMA. SAPMA, I'm a member for SAPMA, which stands for South African Paint Manufacturers Association. So fine, in 2016, that's where in Tzaneen, there were some abandoned factories. So it was so dilapidated, and I approached them, leader Limpopo Economic Development Agency, and they said, no, they gave me one of the factories. I just put the deposit, and for the dilapidation part, I had to fix it on my own. Fine, I approached IDC for funding, because by then I was distributing the Plascon and Excelsa products. And IDC said, no, we cannot give you money to buy stock to distribute other businesses' products. We need you to start your own. And then that's where we come in. And now the whole thing just changed, So fortunate enough, my mom just resigned, she went for pension. And, with that little monies, and I mean, I'm not the only child with my only siblings, nothing. My mom said, you know what, I'm prepared to assist you. So I took my children's savings, my mom's, trying to come up with something. 2016, 2017, trying to fix the factory. Fine, I managed to buy also the second-hand machines. 2018, I was flat broke, and I haven't started the production part. So fine, the money is no longer there. All my savings went to take my personal loans, so I have to start. Fortunate enough, CEDA, let me be honest, CEDA supported me throughout. They managed to buy me some few buckets, and have to start, buy a little bit of raw materials. I'm also a health and safety consultant. So with the little projects that I was getting there and there, it was not that much. I mean, you get the 30,000, the 20,000. So I made it a point that I invest back to the business. So fine, knowing that I don't have background in this thing, when I start to produce, I'll produce with my second-hand machine. The paint was failing. It was failing. In paint needs to be tested. So not having the laboratory equipment, I mean, Limpopo, we don't even have any paint manufacturers that side. So it's like I was forced to take my samples to bring it in Gauteng, in Randbeck. So they will test it for me. It doesn't come cheap. So this guy was also my mentor in this field of paint, and he said, this is pumpish paint. If you want me to mentor you, to assist you, Cate, you need to know that this is not an overnight business. You are not going to make money tomorrow. You need to be patient. It's going to take you some time. You need to perfect your product. You need to produce quality product. And to produce quality product, it starts with your suppliers. Fine. To start with, those suppliers he was referring to, it doesn't come cheap. So because of he was there, it's like he started me like you are learning IAEOU from at school. So he had to take me step by step, and he assisted me in how I need to do it. And then with the formulations, I revised my formulations. 2018 started. 2019, yes, the production, it started. So customers started to get to know my product. Come 2020, therefore, it was COVID. And fortunate enough, I had to make sure that after, I think I opened my business early. I opened it sometime July, August. I went back and we started with the production. And eventually, slowly, the community started to, like my product, the referrals, yes, even though the challenges will always be there. So, until now, in 2021, I applied for CIFA. Because I needed more machines and also the raw materials. And CIFA managed to assist with R1 million. And so the whole thing, as I've said, come 2022. In fact, CIFA, the money was approved last year in 2022. So currently I'm having about 14 permanent staff members and 6 of the chemical engineer internships. So it's been a journey.
It's been a journey, and
yes,
it's been a long one. So inside of your journey, I want to know, what does failure mean to you?
You know, being an entrepreneur, you have to fail somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
It's a process. For me, I don't dwell too much on failing. Mm-hmm. There comes a time where you plan your things and it doesn't go as planned. Mm-hmm. It's either your customers doesn't pay you. It's either you will always have these difficult customers. Mm-hmm. So you just have not to entertain it as a failure, but as, a process that you have to come up with solutions on, whatever challenges that you are having.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So inside of your business, how do you ensure health and safety for your employees?
It's very important, let me be honest. And I think now this whole thing of compliance, now and then I get being audited. I'm working with hazardous chemicals. Mm-hmm. So I get audited more often. Mm-hmm. So I make sure that when it comes to health and safety, even the awareness, every year we do the health and safety awareness, in terms of their safety, in terms of the environment, and also the quality as well.
Mm-hmm. And how do you ensure that your employees know how to protect themselves? Do you have certain gear that you wear? Do you have certain protocols that you do before actually doing the job?
Yes. Let me say, with my employees, there are those who strictly work on the production side. Okay. And then there are those who work in laboratory. Okay. So those two departments, both of them, they know the kind of PPE to use. Okay. Fine. I'm producing water-based paint, which is not that hazardous, unlike the solvent, which is enamel. Okay. So with water-based paint, it's only few raw materials which are hazardous. It's like you have to wear those. The mask is not that ordinary mask that you need to wear. Make sure that your PPE is accordingly. So they already know, because of it's also for their own good. If they don't wear those kind of PPEs and something happens, it's as the owner of the business, it affects me, but it will harm their health more.
True. Mm-hmm. For someone who does not know what paint manufacturing is, in simpler terms, how can you simplify it for us?
Paint, let me be honest, it's something that is doable. You know what, we grew up like not knowing, you just see the wall being painted. You have no idea the kind of raw materials that are used there. Mm-hmm. So I always say, especially with my chemical engineer interns, I said, guys, you at least you've got that privilege that you went to school. I even visited the University of Pretoria. I was just wanted to see the setup. Yeah. When I went to the laboratories, what do they have, the kind of equipment they're using. Yeah. The challenge is, even if you've got masters in chemical engineering, you cannot get out of the university or the school and you start to produce your own product. Mm-hmm. So that's another element that is still lacking on our education level. Mm-hmm. However, paint, it's on a simple terms. It's something that can beautify your home. Mm-hmm. We need, our lives, now after COVID, we've got so many things. Yeah. So if you see color, I'm even happy when I see this kind of background. But when you see color, even my slogan, he said, create your dream. Mm-hmm. You need to personify yourself. Mm-hmm. We're afraid of colors. We grew up using the creams, those
the beiges, the whites.
So now things have changed. People are going out there, they use the reds, the orange, the purples. It was taboo to see a red house in those days. So but paint is something that you need to be proud. It's our color. You can even see our South African flag in Xitsonga, in my culture. Mm-hmm. If you can see Shibela and if you can see the colors that we wear, we are colorful people.
You absolutely explore with color. Mm-hmm. Since it's Women's Month, what can you say that in your business has been a challenge or challenges?
As small businesses, let me be honest, challenges are there. Mm-hmm. And different challenges. I'll start with load shedding. Load shedding on my side is being the biggest challenge because of with the kind of product I'm doing. Paint is like you are cooking pap. You know, when you cook pap, you've got your water, you've got your maize meal, and boom, the electricity is gone. So it's like with paint, and the minute you've put all your raw materials and it hasn't grinded accordingly, now it's a waste.
It's a waste.
So it's one of the challenges. But another challenge that I'm having is the market. You know, we still have that thing of being a small business. For you to penetrate certain market. Let me say you want to see Akani paints at Massmart, you see it at the macros of this world. It's still so challenging because they will tell you, are you SABS approved? And if you are not SABS approved, unfortunately you lose some of the businesses, including some of the what do we call it, the property developers or the contractors. They will still question your quality. So these are some of the challenges that are there. But it's something that as Akani Paints, we are working towards it. In fact, we are almost with SABS approved, and I'm hoping it will be done. So as Women's Month, I would say let's promote each other. Let's buy one another's product. For us to promote the entrepreneurship in women, we need to support one another and buy each other's products.
And your successes as Akani Paints?
Wow. My success, I would say I was an award winner in 2018. Yes. I was an award winner in 2018. Let me be honest, by then it was still, I was still fragile in the business. And recently, it was in 2022, also being a gold winner for Emerging Entrepreneur through Productivity SA.
Okay.
Yes.
So now that you have said, you've spoken about tapping into macro and tapping into your major retail stores that acquire paint, are there any challenges in acquiring those businesses to come on board since you have a construction background?
Yes, as I've said, that we, to penetrate such markets of the construction, as I've said earlier, you still need to prove yourself more. Because they'll say, we've been using these well-known products. How sure, or it's like that, how can I put it, customer confident in your product. You find that they are not confident that I'll be able to produce the quality they want. So in other words, for Akani Paints to prove that you know what, you'll be able to produce that, it's when you go through the SABS route. That, here's my SABS certification, or here's my SABS product certification, that my product it's approved, it's quality standard that you require.
And how did you receive that money from SEDA? How did you progress in using that money from SEDA and other organizations that helped you to grow your business?
SEDA, it assists through, usually SEDA, they don't give you money, but they support you. There are so many trainings that I went through. And SIFA is the one that assisted in terms of funding. It was a loan. Excuse me. It was a loan, and this loan, it managed to assist me in terms of certain raw materials. In terms of raw materials and the machines, because of I had to acquire the machines for me to grow my business. I still need more machines, let me be honest. And now with the environment that we're living in, I need more into automated. As I've said earlier, that I bought the second-hand machine, and it's more into manual used. So the money that I got, it was invested to the machine and the raw materials. Yes, and then with SEDA, it's more into the programs that I attend. The good news is through SEDA and the Department of Trade and Industry, last year I was one of the lucky, SMMEs to go to Germany. For me specifically, it was also to see how other paint manufacturers in countries like Germany do it. But when I compare it, it doesn't differ that much. But they are more advanced when it comes to technology. So it was an eye-opener, and it's something that is my wish to see Akani paint being, in that level.
Yeah. So upon my research, you have spoken or have said before that you want to reach other African countries within our continent as Africa. Have you reached your dream yet?
Not yet, but soon.
All right.
Yes, because I really need to target the SADC market, specifically Mozambique and Lesotho, Swaziland. Those were my targeted market. I was just waiting for SABS to give me that certificate. But definitely that is on my bucket list.
Okay. So as an entrepreneur, what would your advice be to a young person who's like, I'm in this engineering thing and I'm like, I'm finding it difficult, but want to be where you are today? What is your advice to them?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it and ask. If you don't know anything, just ask. It doesn't matter. Some people, they will close their doors. Some, they will open up. So just go for it. Do as much research as you can. Personally, I'm open for any advice, for any help that I can give, and it's for me to give out there. Especially now, our economy. You can do your master's or your PhD, but at the end of the day, our country is struggling when it comes to employment. So we need more of paint manufacturers. I need more of women to be in this industry so that we can help each other.
True.
Let me just show you an example. In Limpopo, as being alone, I buy all my raw materials here in Gauteng. So it's one of the challenges that because of there's no one around, I cannot go to one of my brother or my sister who's in the same industry, So we need more, especially in rural areas. Gone are those days that everything we get it in Gauteng. Now, when I'm in this industry, I'm seeing a gap when it comes to the raw materials. Those who are doing or who did the chemical engineering, that is the market that they need to tap in. We cannot rely to buy our products in China, in Germany, or the whites only do those kind of raw materials. It's time we do it ourselves, especially women.
Yes, that's for sure. As Akani Paint, do you believe in the notion of buying local for local?
Absolutely. Local for local.
And what is your message to that as to encouraging our viewers out there as to buying local paints such as Akani paints?
Sometimes when you buy local, it's not as if you are doing me a favor. The minute you come and buy my paint, it means you are creating salary for my employees. And my employees, they're taking care of their families.
True.
So it's a chain that, when we say let's buy locally, let's support one another, it's not only about Cate's company. It's a chain on its own.
True.
So, and when I grow, it means even the person whom I'm buying the raw material from is growing. It means the person who's doing that paint is growing. Yes.
And earlier you've spoken about interns within your company. How do another company, for example, who's hesitant to hire interns, what would your message be to them as to hiring interns?
Our interns, they need the experience. And where are they going to get the experience if we lock the doors for them? We need to open up. Personally, I wish I can get as much as I can, the interns, but it's unfortunately. But if the government can create that platform, which the sitters are doing, as small business, you find that sometimes it's a little bit difficult when it comes to paying the salary for an intern. Mm-hmm. But when the government comes in terms of the sitters, they pay their stipends. Mm-hmm. Why not open up for that kind of experience and exposure in the workplace? Yeah. So that moving forward, it's either I will be able to keep them or they'll be able to do things for themselves. Or maybe if they can go and work to other paint manufacturers, at least with that experience they got from Akani Paints, it will be a bonus for them.
Yeah. And my second last question, what would your quote or your motivational quote be as an entrepreneur to other entrepreneurs out there?
Sure, there are so many quotes. But I always believe, just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And go for it.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Go for it. I don't even want to dwell this, that. No. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And go for it. Just start. Whatever that you want to do, whatever that you dream of doing, start. And then, all
right. So how do we acquire or make inquiries to Akani Paints?
Akani Paints is on social media. We might not be that active, but we are on social media. We're on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, LinkedIn, and our website as well.
So can you give us the names and the name of the website?
The website is www.akanipaints.com. And on Facebook, Facebook, just type Akani Paints, you'll be able to find us.
And also on Instagram as well?
Also on Instagram as well.
Is there a contact number that you can contact?
Yes, the contact number is the usual one, which is 015-303-2100. And the other one, in fact, I prefer the cell phone one, which is 072-369-0437.
I just want to say, Ms. Olifant, thank you for your time and for your encouraging words and also teaching us about paint. I didn't know that there are paint manufacturers in this world. I thought paint, it was somewhere, and paint my house as beautiful as I can. So I'm thankful very much for this opportunity. Thank you for blessing us with your presence and for us taking the time to see us and educating us about paint manufacturing. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
As that paint manufacturing is not only for engineers. You can have multiple streams of income, and also, as she said, that you must believe in yourself to make your dreams come true. And hopefully you out there can rise from your couch or from wherever you're from and rise from that and believe in yourself. Until next time, I'm your host, Dimpho Mohale. Peace.